table, we're going to follow the program table of contents on the inside of our coaches of the year, and then the really the ultimate goal of this entire program, which is to award scholarships to Stark County wrestlers and support personnel. However, I'd like to give a little background at this time on the Stark County Wrestling Scholarship Fund, a little history lesson on it. The Stark County Wrestling Scholarship Fund began in 1980. The thought process began in 1979 when Walt Talarczyk, Donald Turner, and Ted Issue, and some others got together and decided that it would be prudent to begin a fundraising campaign to hand out some scholarships, raise some money to hand out scholarships. Thank you, sir. And that's my phone. I forgot to hit that. Much appreciated. To raise some money to hand out some scholarships for Stark County wrestlers. And you would have to check the exact date. It is in the back of the program. They did a fantastic job of keeping track of the history of Stark County wrestling. 1980 or 81, the first, I believe, two scholarship recipients received, David, I believe it was $200 or $250 scholarships, non-renewable, of course. As the years went by, and then decades went by, the number of recipients and the amount of money went up and up. And I'm proud to tell you that today we will hand out 10 scholarships worth $3,000 each. So what those gentlemen started, we're just carrying on what they did. So it's a pretty amazing thing. The gentleman on the very front of the program, his photo is there, Donald Turner. He was the president of Stark County Wrestling Scholarship Fund for 44 years. David and I took over 2 years ago, so we are 2 years, and I doubt that we will eclipse his 44. It's an amazing thing that Donald did in those 44 years, along with many others came along before us. So that being said, let's go ahead and begin our program. First order of business is we'd like to begin our Hall of Fame inductions. And if you know anything about Stark County Wrestling, the criteria to get into the Stark County Wrestling Hall of Fame is a high bar. I'm quite sure that there are other counties, no disrespect to those counties, that you could get into their Hall of Fame with some lesser credentials, but not here. Our first Hall of Fame inductee was, as you can see, a 3-time state qualifier and a 2-time state place winner, finishing 6th and then 7th at the state tournament. Multiple-time district finalist, a district champion. We're going to ask him to come up. Tuslaw, graduate 2015, Chance Marthy.
Good evening, guys. I'm going to keep this nice and short and sweet for us. So I just wanted to thank Skip Laughlin and Stark County Wrestling Committee for nominating me to be an inductee. I also want to thank my high school coaches, Micah Coleman, Chase Horvath, Jim Thornsberry. And I also want to thank my youth and junior high wrestling coaches as well. Gary Define, Emil Sunland, Clinton Collins, Joe, or I'm sorry, Larry and Gary Tosh, Josh Morosco, and Jake Remenerick. Lastly, I'd like to thank my family, my mom and dad for getting me started when I was 6, and my siblings, Cassandra, Shane, and Briar, and then my brother-in-law, Matt, for the support and coaching me throughout the years through wrestling and life. Thank you, guys, and thank you for this award. Thank you.
Congratulations, Chance. Our next inductee, I had the displeasure of coaching against him for several years while I was a head wrestling coach at Marlington. He was a two-time state place winner at the OHSA state tournament, fifth and then fourth his senior year. Two-time district finalist and a one-time champion, very similar credentials to Chance. Three-time first team All NBC selection, two-time first team All Stark County, and he was the 2014 Stark County Wrestler of the Year in Division 2-3. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Minerva High School, Harrison Hopper.
Alrighty, I would like to thank Stark County Wrestling Association for nominating me into the Hall of Fame. I'd like to thank my high school wrestling coaches, Coach Coleman, Chad Hilliard, and Leo Saniak. I would like to thank the whole community of Minerva because that's somewhere I didn't grow up, and they welcomed me in, and I used to go to United Local and we didn't have wrestling, so it was a big jump, changing schools, and I'd like to thank my parents for helping me. So
Our next Hall of Fame inductee could not be with us today, but we're going to talk a little about him anyway. Our next Hall of Fame inductee is from Perry High School, Nick Steed. Nick was a three-time state qualifier and a two-time place winner. He was actually a two-time state runner-up. He was a three-time district tournament placer on a one-time champion. Three-time all Federal League selection and a first team All-Star County as a senior. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for 2026 Hall of Fame inductee from Perry, Nick Steed. Likewise, if I'm not mistaken, Isaac Bass could not be with us today. Is that correct? Okay. Isaac was also a 2014 graduate of Perry High School, a three-time state placer, three-time state qualifier and state placer at Perry, seventh, eighth, and then third at the state tournament in 2014. Four times he reached the district finals. Two times he was a champion. He was a three-time sectional tournament champion, three times first team All Federal League, twice first team All Stark County. A round of applause, if you would, for 2026 Hall of Fame inductee Isaac Bass. Our next Hall of Fame inductee is from Tuslaw High School. He was a three-time state qualifier and place winner. He placed sixth at the state tournament in 2013 and was fifth in 2014. And then in 2015, he was a state runner-up. He was a three-time district tournament placer, a two-time finalist, and a one-time champion. Two times he was first team All-Star County. How about a round of applause for 2026 Hall of Fame inductee from Tuslaw High School, Shane Johnson.
Afternoon, everyone. I'm gonna take a moment and just say thank you to all my coaches, especially my high school coaches, Jim Thornsberry, Chase Horvath, Michael Coleman, for really instilling the drive from freshman to senior year and keeping that push going forward. I'd like to thank my family too for having my back and driving me everywhere from camps to tournaments to open mats and everything. I'd like to thank my wife. She was there for my last 2 years of high school and made sure that I was fed when I could be fed, and when I had to cut, she was there to hide food from me. And then just pushing me to do the best that I could in school with wrestling and just further on in life. Thank you.
Our next inductees in the Stark County Wrestling Hall of Fame, are a little different. They, are not, relatively recent wrestlers. Our final Hall of Fame inductees are two people who have impacted Stark County wrestling, not for a few years, but for multiple decades. You can read the bio in the program if you wish on your own, but I'd like to comment for a few moments if I may. Dave and Misty Talarchi have been involved in Stark County wrestling for the better part of 3.5 decades. Dave is, of course, the son of legendary North Canton Hoover wrestling coach Walt Talarchi. Dave and I started coaching against each other sometime in the early 1990s when I was coaching at Marlington and he was coaching at Carrollton. Within a short time, Dave made his way back to Stark County, where he coached wrestling at multiple schools for many, many years. Dave has always been willing to help kids from any school at any time, whether it be folk style wrestling for Stark County wrestling or freestyle or Greco for USA wrestling. Eventually, David and I kind of worked our way into helping Don Turner, I would say a little bit more than most in Stark County wrestling, helping him out, especially after we stepped down as the head wrestling coaches at Marlington and Northwest. We kind of became Don's right-hand guys. And that's when I met Misty. Like I said, I'd met her before, but that's when Misty began working more and more with Stark County Wrestling. And I began to realize that Misty was doing a lot of the work, a lot more work than I thought, to help Don out. And as the years went by and Don Turner aged, Dave and I guess he began to refer to us as the vice presidents of Stark County Wrestling. We did a lot more and more for Don. And Don gave Dave and I credit for helping him out. And a lot of the coaches in the county began to ask Don and I, or David and I, when we were going to kind of take over the Stark County Wrestling role for Don. And as I said, I thought, well, man, Misty did a lot. Well, in the fall of 2024, when Don Turner passed away, and David and I assumed the titles of Stark County Scholarship Fund presidents, we began that position. We've held it now for all of a year and a half compared to Don's 44. We're very proud of that title. Very proud of it. We worked very hard. But what I suspected several years back, I now know to be true for sure. Misty is definitely the brains behind this operation. Many of you probably sense that already. She is the taskmaster. What Dave and Misty Talarch have done for Stark County Wrestling can't be measured in money raised for the scholarship fund. It can't be measured in time. It can only be measured in the number of kids who've been impacted and had their future better. This is the type of Hall of Fame induction that is something that I'm incredibly proud to announce. So it is it is my great pleasure to introduce Hall of Fame inductees 2026, David and Mistina Talarchi.
That's a very nice introduction. You guys hear me? Okay. So I want to thank Kurt Hamilton. I want to thank the Stark County Committee for everything they've done for all of you guys. I want to thank Dragon Media. But I also want to congratulate all the wrestlers and all their accomplishments. I want to congratulate all the scholarship winners, which, let's face it, that's kind of why we are here. But to be honest, it's a little different for me. I'm okay in a wrestling room or in the corner of the mat, standing up here, talking to you about me. I'm a little uncomfortable to talk about life. We are incredibly honored and grateful to be recognized tonight. Wrestling has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. All 28 years, 11 months, I don't know how many days. Like Kurt said, I was fortunate enough to be coached by my dad. He was a gentleman that started this foundation, and he would always say, we got to find a way to get these kids to college. And, you know, what he started, what that generation has built, I'm just doing my best to carry it forward. So over the years, I've been involved in a lot of great programs, whether it was in Wheeling Park, Blair, Carrollton, Jackson, Northwest, Ohio Wrestling, and of course, North Camp. At every stop, it's been about the people, the athletes, the coaches, the parents, the families. That's what our sport is all about. But the truth is, I haven't done any of this alone. Misty's been with me since 1994. She's been a part of every team, every season, every long night, early morning. She's taken on so many roles, whether she wanted to or not, most of them behind the scenes. And she's a big reason why so many things have worked as well as they have. She's still doing that today as treasurer of Stark County Wrestling. And I know how much time and effort she puts in. A lot that she doesn't doesn't get seen, but it definitely makes a difference. We broke to try to get back to the sport that is giving us so much. Wrestling teaches you a lot of hard work, about perseverance, about doing things the right way. And it's been a privilege to stay connected to it and be part of the community. So thank you to everyone, to the coaches, to the families, the athletes, and the people who continue to support Stark County Wrestling. And thank you for this recognition. It truly means a lot to us. Like a wise man once said, we're just glad to be part of the program.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask for all of our Division 1 first team wrestlers to please come up and line up over here to my left. It'll be your right, guys. Division 1 first team wrestlers over here to my left. Our numbers are a little lower this year at the banquet than they were last year. We didn't have quite as many state qualifiers this year we did last year, and sometimes schedules don't work out. Louisville happened to have their team banquet today. So we wish the Leopards best in their team banquet today. Gentlemen, I'll be calling you across the stage in the order in which you appeared in the program. In case you happen to look. Not all of these gentlemen will be here today. Some of them had other things going on today. I'm going to announce them anyway. One name that was missing out of the program, and we're going to hold our applause until they all come across. Adonis Kelly from McKinley. Frankie Salvino from Massillon. Andrew Ramos from Perry. Liam Dillon from Jackson. Cameron Plotz from Perry. Lucas Jordan from Lake. Seth Cavalis. Zeus, as he told me to say earlier, from Barry. He was fourth in the state this year. Lincoln Roar from Barry, also fourth in the state this year. I neglected to say it earlier. Cameron Plotch was sixth at the state tournament this year. Konstantinos Paxos from Hoover, third in the state this year. Liston Seibert from Perry, state runner-up, second in the state this year. Mason Roar from Perry was state runner-up this year. Gage Horak from Perry was state runner-up this year. And our wrestler of the year from Perry this year couldn't be here today. He is wrestling at the freestyle state duels today. Is Brennan Warwick. We're going to talk about Brennan for a moment. Brennan was the 175-pound state champion this year. He's a senior from Perry High School. Completed a senior year with a record of 46 wins and only 2 losses. How about a round of applause for our first team, all county, Division I wrestling. Congratulations, guys. At this time, I'd like to ask Perry head wrestling coach Danny Jennison, come up at the front, please. Selected by his peers this year of the Division I wrestling coaches in Stark County, Danny is the Division I Stark County Wrestling Coach of the Year. Congratulations, Danny.
Well, it's an honor to be up here. First off, thank you to the Talarcheks and Kurt. We've been in communication a lot this year for the reverse raffle or setting up times for the photo shoots from Straggett for the state qualifiers. So they do put a ton of time into this, and anytime we have positive outlook for wrestling and notoriety, that's awesome. Thank you to Straggett Media. They've done so much to help promote this sport. And, you know, when we have these great photo shots and they're really representing the sport in a positive light. I need to thank my coaching staff. I have some great guys who, you know, put the time and effort to get these kids to where they need to be. Most of them are coaching at Freestyle State Duels today. Also want to give a huge thank you to Steve Ramos. You know, both first year head coaches. There was a lot going into planning and doing stuff and learning along the lines and along the way. So thank you, Steve, for helping, whether it was being an ear to talk to or just some advice. Very proud of the way both of our teams finished this year and look forward to a successful 2026-27. Thank you.
At this time, if I could please have the Division II/3 first team all county wrestlers come and line up to my left, your right. First, we'd like to recognize from Tuslaw High School, Gunnar Eberhardt. Couldn't be with us today. From Minerva High School, Jason Sibby. Also from Minerva High School, Ethan Weaver. From Alliance High School, Johnny Belts. Could not be with us today. Also from Alliance High School, Andrew Pennington. From Fairless High School, Joey Benson. From Sandy Valley High School, Owen Simpson. Also from Sandy Valley, Asher Chrissy. From Canton Central Catholic, Axel Estrada. Could not be with us. From Tuslaw High School, Chance Grimm. Also from Tuslaw High School, Caden Lawson. Caden is a senior. He placed 7th at this past year's state wrestling tournament. From Canton South High School, senior Dom Prosperi. Dom is a 2-time state place winner. He was 2nd last year and 3rd at the state tournament this year. From Tuslaw High School, sophomore Logan Hare. Logan is our Division 2/3 Wrestler of the Year. And finally, from Canton South High School, senior D'Angelo Spear. D'Angelo is also our Division 2/3 Wrestler of the Year. Both D'Angelo and Logan were state runners up this year. A little bit about D'Angelo and Logan. Logan, only a sophomore, was 45-3 for the Mustangs this past year. He was the 157-pound Division 3 state runner-up. D'Angelo, a senior, was 48-6 this year for the Wildcats. He was the 285-pound Division 2 state runner-up. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for your Division 2/3 first team All-Star County Wrestling. Congratulations, guys. At this time, could I please have Mike Trine from Tuslaw come up to the front? Mike's Maslin Tuslaw wrestling team had a fantastic this year. His peers in Division 2/3 selected him as the Stark County Division 2/3 Wrestling Coach of the Year. Mike?
It is an honor to be standing up here as Coach of the Year. I just wanted to start out by thanking the Stark County Wrestling Committee and the coaches. Your guys' respect, it means a great deal to me, and I'm humbled to be recognized by such an outstanding group of coaches. I also want to congratulate Coach Steve Ramos and Coach Danny Jeniton. Danny was a senior when I was a freshman, and he was someone that I looked up to in the room, and I still look up to this day. I know your guys' accomplishments in the programs and your athletes in the sports are incredible, and it's a privilege to be mentioned with you guys. To the Hall of Fame inductees, congratulations. Your dedication and passion have really made an impact in Stark County. The Straggett Media, you guys are always great, popping up out of nowhere, saying hi to us, and getting all the really cool pictures of the kids. We really appreciate it. Coach Dave Riggs, thanks for calling me on my birthday about the job for Tuslaw. Even though I thought I was in trouble when you called me, even though I was 27 years old, I really appreciate that phone call and to become the head coach here. To my wife and my family, thank you for your unwavering support, your patience, and your belief in me. I know this job takes a lot of time and energy, and I couldn't do without you guys. To the wrestlers, this is really your guys' award. Your hard work, your discipline, your commitment, it all makes everything possible. You show every day, show up every day, and I'm really proud to be your guys' coach. And finally, to my coaching staff, with your dedication and teamwork, we all know the long hours and the preparation and the passion you guys bring, and it doesn't go unnoticed. I'm really grateful to work beside you guys. Thank you.
At this time, could I have our first team all Stark County girls wrestlers come up to my left, please? Perfect attendance. Your first team All-Star County Girls Wrestlers. From Alliance High School, senior Ashlyn Pennington. From Perry High School, sophomore Mia Forberg. Mia is our co-wrestler of the year. Also from Perry High School, sophomore Carolyn Geckler. She is our co-wrestler of the year this year. And also from Perry High School, junior Emma Shepard. She's also our co-wrestler of the year this year. Our co-wrestlers of the year this year are Mia Forberg, Carolyn Geckler, and Emma Shepard. They are the co-wrestlers of the year because all three of them won the state championship in Columbus this past March. Mia is a sophomore. She finished the year 41-8 for the Perry Panthers. She was the 105-pound state champion. Carolyn, also a sophomore, finished the year 41-1. She was the 130-pound state champion. And if you check the program, she's now a two-time state champion. Emma Shepard is a junior. She finished the year 42-5. She finished the year as the 140-pound state champion. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your first team All-Star County girls wrestling. At this time, if I could please have Perry girls wrestling coach Steve Ramos come up to the front. Some sports, of course, to win a state title in football, you definitely need minimum, 22 guys? You need a minimum. Okay. Steve, how many girls do you need to win a state wrestling championship?
This year, 3.
Three. Okay, just wanted to check. You need three. Okay.
Thank you, Kurt. Let me bring up my notes here really quickly. So good afternoon. I'm incredibly grateful to be here today. Congratulations to all the scholarship winners. So was it 30?
10, $3,000.
$3,000. It's pretty wild. 33 years ago, I was not here, but at the Skyland Pines, and I won the scholarship as well for $500. So thank you for creating this opportunity, and thank you very much for the Stark County Wrestling Committee for all of your hard work. $30,000. That's amazing. I know you all put a lot of time and effort into all the fundraisers, and you also do a lot of other things. So your time is unseen, or your work is unseen. The time you put in is unseen, but very grateful that you made it come to fruition. So Dave, Kurt, Misty, Straight Media, everyone, if you could give him a thank you for making this an opportunity for all the scholarship winners. Thank you very much. Just a few more thank yous. Definitely want to thank the coaching staff. Jeff Coleman, who could not be here today, he was instrumental. He helped a lot with technique, with conditioning, with psychology, and also the nutrition. Also want to thank Tom Wiseman. He was there every day. He's the youngest of the coaches, and I think maybe Trav might be a year younger, but Trav's only part-time. So for Tom that was there every day, he's the youngest of the coaches, so he was rolling around with the girls and getting them into shape. So thank you, Tom. Travis as well. We bust Travis's chops because he is a volunteer and he can make it a couple days a week, but we always give him a hard time. We're very grateful for his expertise, his history with the girls wrestling program, and his ability to connect with a lot of our girls. I certainly want to thank the parents of the program. You can trust us with your daughters for 2 hours a day, for a lot of days a week during the entire season, and thank you very much. Certainly want to thank the Perry administration, top to bottom. Very grateful for all the time and effort and support that they've provided. And I also want to thank Danny and Brent McBurney, who's not here today, but Danny and Brent, man, I had a zillion questions. It was my first time as a varsity coach. I coached at different levels, youth level, middle school as the head coach, assistant varsity coach, but never as the varsity coach or the head coach of the varsity program. So what a learning curve it was. And anytime I'd call or text, Danny and Brent would, they'd get back to me right away. So thank you very much. And lastly, thank you, girls, Mia, Carolyn, and Emma. What a fun year it was working with an incredible group of young ladies. Our focus this year was really on growth, and grow we did. Their improvement week to week was visible. In fact, the first and only tournament that the girls won was the state tournament. We wrestled 10 tournaments and we only placed first in one of them. What a time to do it. I'm so excited for next year and to continue to work on getting better every day. Girls, thank you for making this the most fun year I've ever had coaching. Thank you again.
So folks, before we begin the final part of the program, which is the scholarship portion, if you do turn beyond that in your program, you can see that long before David and I were around, people kept, the folks before us kept great history of Stark County wrestling all the way back. This is accurate because, I've had it checked by coaches who were around long before I was. You can take a look at the all-time Stark County wrestlers there for career wins, season pins. All the way back to the Stark County's first ever state champion wrestler from Canton McKinley, Charlie Jackson in 1960, up to up to this year. I have it updated to this year. Our girls wrestling state champions, we've got Carolyn in there with two asterisks, representing the fact she's a two-time state champion. You can see I was correct all the way back to 1980, the first two scholarship winners. And then we have the scholarship, and we have the Stark County Wrestling Hall of Fame, which goes back the very first class in 1987. You look at some of those names. Harold Smith, a great wrestler from Canton McKinley. John Hahn, multiple state champion from Minerva. Some of those amazing names back there. So please feel free to take this program with you. As long as I've been around Stark County Wrestling, I still peruse this program and just look at some of the history that's there still today. That being said, at this time, to my left, if we could please have the Stark County Wrestling Scholarship winners come up. As you can see in the program, as I'm sure I mentioned before, these the number of scholarships started out at 2, and they have varied in the number we've given out. They've always grown in the amount. These scholarships are now renewable. They are $1,500 this year, and then they are renewable for the next 3 years in the amount of $750. Okay, that doesn't add up correctly. Yes, $500, that adds up correct. For a total of $3,000. Coaches that are here, parents, these are available not just for wrestlers, but these are available for support personnel, wrestling statisticians, filmers, etc. These scholarships, when we get the applications, they are given to a committee that David and Misty and I and Hannah and Jake, we're not on the committee. The committee is made up of people who do not know wrestling names. It is based upon academics, community service, not wrestling wins and losses. Your wins and losses, your wrestling credentials mean nothing. So, but you have to have been involved in wrestling. You have to have been in the sport. So please, we encourage you, tell your friends, tell your anybody that's involved. We want more applications. We're giving out 10 scholarships. We could have used more applications. Let's just put it that way. We could have used more applications. Okay. Our first award winner, and again, some of these folks could not be here today. As you come across, Misty's going to give you a letter. It's going to tell you how to basically turn in your college paperwork to receive the check for your scholarship. Our first award winner from Alliance High School is Andalyn Barker. How about a round of applause for Andalyn? Andalyn's proud parent is Aaron Barker. Our second scholarship winner, Scarlett Grace from Perry. Scarlett's proud parents are Eric and Ashley Grace. Our next scholarship winner from Marlington High School, Mackenzie Hall. Mackenzie is the daughter of Michael and Krista Hall. Our next winner from Northwest High School, Morgan Halling. Morgan is the daughter of Amy and Jason Halling. Next is Isa Cansos from Hoover. She could not be with us today. Ethan Kling from Hoover. Could not be with us today. Hayden Dean Lawson from Tuslaw. Son of Kevin and Carrie Lawson. And you weren't expecting the middle name to be in there, were you? I didn't think so. That was on the application. That's. Our next winner from Hoover High School, Stamateos Paxos from Hoover High School. Son of Lampos and Brittany Paxos. Our next two winners, Carmela and Frankie Salvino. They are the son and daughter of Abigail and Paul Salvino. Congratulations, guys. Well done. Mom and Dad appreciate that. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the penultimate purpose of the Stark County Wrestling Scholarship Fund is just that, to raise funds for scholarships, to give out to wrestlers and support personnel from Stark County wrestling programs, and that's what we're doing today. How about a round of applause for our scholarship winners? I believe before we head out, Straga Media would like our state champions to come up to get a special picture with the Straga pick. If there's nothing else, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for coming out today and supporting Stark County Wrestling, but more importantly, for supporting high school kids who participate in the sport of wrestling. We appreciate your support. Coming out on a nice Sunday afternoon. We wish you a safe trip home. Thanks again.